Okay, here we go. Recording Power Hour. Today it is February 26th. We are going to walk through the Success Club activity tracker. Very first thing that I really like starting with is your why. Reason is because I feel like your why changes with the season, changes with where you're at week to week. Things happen, uncontrollable, and your why may change. Your greater why might still be there, but what is the thing you're working towards this week? So really quickly, write down your why and what that is. I'll give you guys like 2 minutes for that. And just to share, I actually like to put my why on like a sticky note and I put it in my agenda for the week as well. I just find that that helps to keep me kind of focused. All right. Next thing is my target market. Now, this is so key for me. I can totally get wrapped into the realm of like numbers because I'm a numbers person and I like to just go. So just kind of remind yourself who's the person that you're looking for. Who are they? What do they do? Where are you going to find them? Where do you need to be? How do you have to show up in order to serve that person that you're looking for? So really quickly, just kind of write out who your target market is. I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'll read mine to you guys because I feel like sometimes this helps just to hear somebody else's. So I will read mine to you guys. If it's going to be distracting, you can just kind of mute me for 2 minutes while you write yours out. I just have to find mine on here. Okay. So my target market, who's my ideal client, it's long. So I actually have it written in my book because I read it every time. She's a mom. She's anywhere from 25 to 45 years old. She actually does not enjoy going to the park with her kids or imaginary play. She watches garbage reality TV shows, but she wishes she was in one instead. She wishes she could travel more, but money prevents it. She wants to be cute again without having to give up the wine and chocolate. She is hardworking, loyal, self-motivated. She wants to be home with her kids more, and she's looking for purpose beyond her family. She's full of new ideas and has no clue how to make them a reality. She loves country music and dancing is her superpower. She loves DIY projects and home renovations. Hello, HGTV. She's afraid to fail. She has dreams of her husband being home too. She's tired of watching everyone else's life unfold on social media and really wants to live more of her own life. She's hurt from past pain and she hides her truth, but she's ready to be set free. She's coachable and she's ready to set her soul on fire. That's my target market. So get really clear with like who that person is because I feel like that's so powerful. And when I read that before I get to work, it's like, where are you? I need to connect with you because that is the type of human that I want to connect with. Okay. And that is the type of human that a lot of people on our team are. So we're already making those connections. Know that you're making those connections. Running through this really quick, you guys, we're really going to focus on section number 2. Section number 1 is be proof that the products work. So workout, drink, Shakeology. I haven't even done my workout yet today. Today has been an off day for me. So this is something that I've actually been talking about on social media. So don't hide from that either. If you haven't done a workout, or you haven't had, like, if you're just way off, share that and just kind of share why, where you're at, that you need motivation, lean on the community a little bit more, but just share where you're at in terms of being proof of the product's work. Okay. So if you haven't done a story on your workouts, you haven't shown a couple clips, you haven't talked about your community, make sure that that is something on your list of things to do today as you go throughout your day. I am going to dive right into section number 2. So I would actually like to start kind of like bottom up. I'm going to switch this up a little bit. We're not going to go top down. I feel like when we go top down, sometimes we just get a little bit robotic about what we're doing. So we're going to kind of go from the bottom up a little bit. I'm going to bounce around. Bear with me. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to invite. I want to invite right away. You should have a social media post that has been put up from this week at some point. We're already at Wednesday. So I want you guys to invite 5 people. We're going to take 10 minutes to do this. Invite 5 people to a challenge group or the coach opportunity. Actually, you know what? Let's do 5 people to a challenge group and 1 person to the coach opportunity. Okay, so 6 people in total. And you're inviting them from a post that you've put up that maybe they've liked or they've commented on, or it's like a new follower, a new connection that you've made and you've been chit-chatting with them for a while, but you haven't actually invited them yet. That's who we're going to go and invite. If you have questions, you can unmute or put it in the chat. 5 invites to the client opportunity, 1 invite to the coach opportunity. 10 minutes. Ready? Go. I just want to give you guys a little tip here for inviting. Something that I found works really well on Messenger. If you are using Facebook over DMs, I'm using Facebook right now for invites. You can actually see who's active in Messenger, especially from your computer. Message the people who are active instead of the ones who are not. I found that that's been like really helpful in just getting a conversation going because they're already active on Facebook. Just a tip. And I'll show you at the bottom, just in case you don't know. If you're on your phone to find the active people, you can see your chats that are active. And then on the other side, you can see like those little people. Click on that. And then you can see at the very top who has stories, which I love because now I can go through here and I can respond to stories and our connections, which we'll get to. But then you can see who's active over here. So when you click on active, I have 219 people that are active. This is a really great place to just go in and start looking for people to invite if you don't have a list or you don't have a lot of likes or comments on your posts, which can totally be the case, especially for Facebook. Okay, 5 more minutes. Another thing for the coach invite, don't overlook your current challengers. So if you're looking for someone new, that's great as well, but don't overlook some of your current challengers to go and message one or two of them to be like, hey, how's everything going? If you haven't been talking to them, hopefully you have been, but dive back into the message with them and just say, I'm really looking to grow my team at this point, and I think that you would smash this. Like, I think that you would be incredible. I want you on my team. Like, be very direct about it. Don't like scoot around it, but go into some of your challengers too if you're finding you don't have anyone else to invite. I'm going to go do that right now. We have 2 minutes left. Okay, you guys can wrap that up. Hopefully, we've got 6 invites out. And this is like when you think of invites, I know that 6, I mean, that might not sound like a big number, but when you think of 6 every single day over the course of 30 days, just consider the impact that that totally has on your business. So, consistency is really, really key when it comes to your inviting. Now, if people are responding back to you right now, ignore them. Don't reply back. We're going to keep going through. And then at the end, that's really where, for me, I get through this power hour, and then at the very end, I will dive into all of my follow up. So the rest of the day, I have to like really continue those conversations with people. Otherwise, I'll get stuck in one conversation with one person for an hour, and then I don't get anything else done. So checking off, we got 5 invites out and 1 to the coaching opportunity. So instead of checking it in the box, I actually like to put the number. So I'm going to put in 6 there. The next thing that I want to do is I want you guys to go in and respond to all new likes, comments, and views. So we'll do 10 minutes on this. We can do Instagram and we can do Facebook, depending on which platform you're using. I use both. Go in and basically just open up your likes. So go to your last post, open up the likes, and whoever has liked it, go to their page and like their stuff. Comment on their stuff. Leave a genuine comment. If you're not feeling it, if you're feeling it's forced, find a picture that you can leave a comment that feels genuine to you. So do that for anyone that has liked your posts or commented on your posts. I really want you guys to make sure too that you are replying back to every single comment that is made on your post. Reply back and try and engage conversation to happen on your post. So if you've noticed on the last post you've had comments, reply back and ask them a question, or like try and get that conversation to continue so that they reply back in the comment section, because the more comments you have, the better. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. If you have questions, let me know. We will go for 10 minutes. So until 12:30. I'll give you guys examples as well. If you don't want examples, you can just mute me for 10 minutes. But I just had someone here who had liked my post. I actually haven't talked to them in forever. And they had posted a picture of being at Disney last week. So my comment back normally would have just been like, oh my gosh, looks so great. Your family's so cute. That's awesome. So adorable. Hope you had fun. Like it was always a statement. That's what I did for the longest time in the beginning of my business. Now I'm learning how to ask those questions. So instead, my comment on their post is that it looks there in front of the castle. It looks amazing. Our kids keep asking to go back. Did you check out the new Star Wars? Because they have the new Star Wars, whatever thing it's called. I can't think of words. It's there. And the kids keep asking about it. So this is a really great way for me to just spark conversation and to get conversation going. And I'm genuinely interested in what that is because the kids keep asking me about it. So use that as an example of like ways to ask questions and comments. I will during this time as well. If someone is someone that like I really want on my team, or I feel like a really great connection with, I'll add them to a collection in Instagram. I have a collection called Dream Team. I have a collection for potential clients. I have a collection for follow-ups. I've actually started doing monthly collections within there. So I have a March follow-up collection, and a March invite collection. So that for me just helps when I go into Instagram. I don't have to have like all my books with me if I'm out and about, or I just don't have everything there. I can dive into my collections. So consider that too as you're replying back. I like to just jot their name down if I feel like it's someone that I've really connected with for whatever reason. I note the reason. Okay, 2 more minutes. All right, you guys, we are going to wrap up responding to all new likes and comments. You can check that off on your tracker. The next thing that I want to really dive into is to start initiating connections and adding new followers. This is an area that I think most people struggle in. How do you find those new connections? How do you find those new followers? And where are we looking to find them? And just like a sidebar, I actually was listening to a podcast with the Birds Papaya. If you don't know her, she's a really, really great, she's just such a great influencer on social media. She is local to us, so I kind of know about her just from growing up. But her podcast, she actually said she spends responding to all new likes, comments, and initiating connections, those two areas. She spends 4 hours a day for 10 years in those two areas alone to build her business and to build her following to what it is. It took her 12 years and she hit 1 million followers. Like, that's insane to me, but that's the work she put in to get there. So know that 20 minutes of initiating connections and adding followers is really not going to get us to those thousands and thousands of followers that we're looking to get at. So live in this a little bit more when you're done. We're going to do an hour together, but this is really a huge area to live in on social media in order to grow your following. So initiating connections, how are we going to do this? On Instagram, you can search hashtags if you want to search hashtags. I don't love searching hashtags. I actually like doing locations. So locations for me have been so key, especially when I do something or I go somewhere. So on Instagram right now, if you go under search, the little magnifying glass at the bottom, you can search at the very top. And for me, I'm searching locations that I know Old Dominion was at because that's the concert I just went to. So I'm going to go search. I know that they had 3 concerts that were really close to where I am. I'm going to go search those 3 locations. I know people, and I can search that hashtag today too. I know people are going to be checking in with that because people love checking in with concerts. So that's where I'm going to live. And I'm going to go and I'm going to find the people. I'm going to comment on all of their photos because I've been there. I have that shared experience. Do that with a place that you've been to recently. Even if it was like a month or 2 months ago, it doesn't matter. It could be a farm you visited with your kids. It could be a coffee shop you went to. It could be a restaurant you've been to. It could be a concert. Could, like, literally anything, a city. Go and find that and then just connect with people that come up on that search page. So that's Instagram and how I'm using Instagram. The second way to use Instagram and to find people is I have the collections. We talked about saving photos into collections on Instagram. I save a collection called Target Market. So I probably have 10 accounts in there right now that I go in, and my Target Market accounts are less. I try to keep them less than 100,000 followers. So people who are in the like 12 to 20,000 followers are kind of my sweet spot. And I go into those accounts and I comment on all their stuff. And I look at what the comments are saying and who's commenting. And then I go and I follow those people and I try to make connections with the people who we're both following the same account. So we likely have something in common. Not always, but likely. So those are the people I try and connect with. So that's what we're going to do for 10 minutes. We're going to go and initiate connections and try and add some followers. I will follow somebody. That's a question I get a lot. When do you follow them? After you comment. I follow a lot of people and then I unfollow them a week or 2 later if there's no response back. So that for me is just something that's kind of worked. And yeah, if you guys have questions on that, let me know. But I'm going to go and I'm going to search the Old Dominion hashtags and the Old Dominion locations. And then I'm going to try and connect with those people. So consider somewhere that you've been. Kaylee, I love that. Boxing moms with 10 rounds. Perfect. The other thing that I know people have done with that, because 10 rounds is coming out, connecting with people, those are the people they're connecting with for a coaching opportunity as well. So consider that. But we're not going for the invites right now. We're literally just making human connections.
I just have a really quick question. When you said that you unfollow after a week, so do you write down the people that you're actually following and go back and check to see if they have followed you?
So I don't write them down. What I do is on my account, when I go to following at the top, it gives me the list of my most recent people that I'm started following. So I
Okay.
just go through the first like 50, however many people. I go through here and I check to see if they're following me. And if they're not, then I unfollow them if I haven't had a connection with them.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm spending time doing that because my following rate, and for me, I've been doing this for a year and a half. So consider doing this now, because if I'm not unfollowing and I'm just following a bunch of people, you can only follow 7,500 accounts on Instagram. And I'm up over 6,000 accounts that I'm following. So I really have to be careful, especially now, because I can get there within 6 months. I can max out how many people I'm following. So I have to make sure that I'm constantly cleaning that up and going through. Okay, so 10 minutes on that. Something else I just found on Facebook that I've never done before. I found the events. So the event for the concert that I was just at, and there's a discussion page. You can't see who all went unless they're your friends, but there's a discussion page, and there's a ton of people who like are commenting on Facebook. So I talked about Instagram. This is more Facebook. Consider going into events and in the discussion page and seeing if there's anyone you connect with there. The other thing for Facebook is Facebook groups. Go into Facebook groups and contribute to a group that is not yours that you're running. I give free meal plans out to groups all the time on Facebook. The other thing I do is I try and start a connection with 5 people from groups that I'm in every day. And that has helped. Okay. We could live in that all day. I could, anyways. We're gonna move on from that though. So that's just initiating connections, adding followers. Again, on the Facebook side of things, I mean, if you feel like you want to add them as a friend, add them as a friend. If you are building a Facebook page, like a business page, then just make sure that you're sharing on that page so that people, and ask them to tag people, invite your friends, share this post, like just tell people what to do to help build that following on your page. And yeah, that's kind of that. Any questions on that before we move along? Because I feel like that's a really confusing one.
Thank you, Chalene. Oh my
You're
God, I have
welcome.
to like run out of here. I completely forgot what day it was.
No, go, 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 go. Thanks for jumping on. See ya.
I love it. Thank you. Next time, I'll definitely hop on if I can. Definitely.
For sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
See ya. Okay, so let's move into follow-ups. I think everything is really in the follow-up, and follow-ups can go really easily through the cracks. We did a couple of calls recently on tracking and how to track your business and who you should be tracking. And for me, I kind of gone in and out of tracking for a while within my business, mostly because I didn't find a system that I was loving. So one is find a system that you love. It is going to be trial and error. Do you like paper and pen, or do you prefer electronic? I kind of go back and forth between the two. When I'm working really fast, I like to just have sticky notes that I can write things down, and then I can go input it into my spreadsheet. So that's kind of my system and how I'm working right now. But I would really love, let's just spend the next 10 minutes for sure. We're going to follow up with people that you've invited. And then I want to talk a little bit about our social media posts. So 10 minutes, it'll take us right to 12:55. And our follow up is like literally anyone that you've invited before, anyone that has said no for whatever reason, people who just haven't got back to you yet. I hope you have a list of those people that you can message. For me, I'm using my Rise planner right now to just kind of create like my hot list of people. So I'm going to dive into this list and follow up with them. Some of them I followed up with yesterday. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm just going to get as many as I can. If you are a numbers person and you want to try and get numbers in, then I would suggest let's aim to follow up with 5 people. Other than that, just keep going for 10 minutes. Okay. Something I will share that I started doing was some of my follow-ups. I feel like I followed up 2 and 3 times and they haven't answered. So some of my follow-ups have literally been like, hey, I'm just circling back. Where are we at? Where did we leave off? And then continue in the conversation. Haven't forgotten about you. Just circling back. Where did we leave off? Let's get the ball rolling. Like, just be a little bit more direct. Life got busy. Totally get it. Like, release any guilt or pressure from both sides of the conversation. Maybe one didn't follow up fast enough. Maybe they are feeling like, oh, I haven't got back to them yet. They're feeling a little bit anxious about that. Just release that pressure and be like, hey, where are we at? Let's continue. Let's just pick up where we left off. Okay. So 10 minutes. Something else that works really well, when you say when you're gonna go follow up with them, is really asking them, "Hey, I just want to circle back on this conversation. What's the one thing that's holding you back from getting started?" Super simple. Get them to tell you what's going on. Because so often I feel like we live in our DMs and our messages, and we're like, "Why won't this person answer me? Like, what is going on?" So like super simple. What's the one thing holding you back? As an idea. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up right now. Yeah, 1 second, babe. I'm gonna wrap up the follow-ups. I wanted to share something with you guys in terms of a post. So I would love right now if you are doing this, if you're doing this live, or if you were following the recording after, just take a photo of the screen and post it to your stories. Talk about the fact that this is community. Talk about the fact that we are doing this together. Talk about the fact that you get support and you get to work from home. Like, build something into this, into a story that you are building your business from the comfort of your own home with the support of a team. You are not alone. So I want you guys to make sure you do a story about that whenever you are watching this. The other thing that I want you guys to do is a social media post. So you should be posting every single day. I know that this might sound like a little bit much for some people, but posting every single day is really where the magic is, because that's what's going to give you more people to connect with, more people to respond to your likes and comments on. If you're not posting every day, some of these tasks become a lot more tedious and it's a lot harder to get them done when you aren't posting. So, social media posts. I would love for you guys to do a post today that has absolutely nothing to do with Beachbody. I don't want the post to be about workouts. I don't want it to be about nutrition. I don't want it to be about the coaching opportunity. I want it to be about nothing to do with Beachbody. What I find is when we become Beachbody coaches, all we talk about is Beachbody, and we lose who we are. And we on social media, people lose sight of the fact that we're still human. We're still living our lives. We're still doing things that we absolutely love, and we're now just coaches, and they only see you as a coach. I want people to really see you as a human. So I want you to share a story, something that's happened to you in the last little while, something about family, something that you've done, something you love, anything, even a quote. It can be a quote if you want to be a quote, and really have it go to storytelling of something that has happened to you in the past little while, but nothing to do with Beachbody. I hope that that helps and alleviate some of that pressure. But that's what I want you guys to do after this call. The last thing I want to show you before we get off this call, especially on Instagram, you can go into Instagram. If you create a business account or you have a creator account, I have a creator account, not a business account. You can go into your posts. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at your insights. This is really going to tell you what people like you posting the most. We want to see, so when you click on it, you can see view insights. From here, we really want to see I don't care about the likes on this. I want to see comments, and I want to see how many saves and shares. So this one here actually has no saves and no shares. So this is shares to stories. This is saves. This is what's going to tell you is doing well on your page. So I want you guys to go back through probably the last like 9 to 12 posts and see what has shares and saves, because I want more of that stuff to happen. That's what's really going to help you on Instagram. So my quotes I got away from, but I actually get more shares and saves off of my quotes. So I started doing a few more. Same with this one. I had 2 saves, and it was literally just a handwritten note, and I had a couple of saves on that one. So just go through, check out your insights, see what's happening on your social media, pay attention to the things that people are loving, pay attention to the things that people are ignoring a little bit. The last thing that I will say is pay attention to the time of day that you are posting. Right now is a really great time for me and my audience to be posting. Anywhere from 12 to 2 p.m. during the day, I get the most engagement off of. And on the weekends, I get the most engagement between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. So if I don't post at that time, I find my posts don't do as well and I don't get as much engagement. So just be cognizant of the fact that you can write a post right now, but you can post it later if your audience likes to see it later. How do you know? Well, for me, if I go to the 3 lines on my account at the top, sorry, I can go into insights. When I click on insights, for me, this is going to tell me the activity on all my posts and how they're doing. But I actually go to audience at the end, and my audience here tells me my growth, if there's any growth happening. Sorry, there's a glare there. It also tells me here the times that people are spending on social media. So this time for me tells me when my people, because my audience is going to be different than everybody else's audience. There's some similarities, of course, but this is going to tell me my best times to post. So for me, anywhere between 12 and like 4 on a Tuesday. Again, you can change the day of the week here. You can see how things kind of change. 12 and 4 is like key for me most days. So consider going into your audience, understanding your insights a little bit more will help you to increase engagement, because if you're posting at 10 o'clock every single night, you're going to see decrease in engagement, whereas you could have posted that the next day at 2 p.m. and that could double your comments or increase your shares or increase your saves. So that's that. I also want you guys to ensure you're telling people what to do when you post on social media. Are you asking them to save your post? Are you asking them to share your post? Are you asking them to leave a comment? Are you asking like a heartfelt question and not just, can I help you? Would you like to join my team? Get away from those questions and really just ask questions you would ask your girlfriends. Leave it to questions about, even for us, we were at the concert. Did you guys see Old Dominion when they did their Canadian tour this year? Like, I can leave it at that as a question to just get engagement. The whole point of posts is not to get clients. The whole point of posts is to be social, to get engagement, and to start conversation. So I hope that that helps in terms of maybe what you're posting. And if you're not seeing any engagement on things, I hear that quite often. And when I go back through and I look at social media accounts, I notice that it's because every post is either you're speaking at people, which I used to do a lot. You're speaking at people, or every single post is about come join me, come join me, come join me. And it's always just ask, ask, ask. And when we're constantly asking from people, they feel depleted and they don't feel that energy coming back of, I want to help, even though it's coming from a place of I want to help. It comes across as you're just asking and taking and taking and taking. So how can you give? What can you give back? How can you just increase engagement and love on people instead of constantly asking? So consider that with your social media posts today. And then you can follow up with the rest of this. Hopefully you've done some personal development already. And number 3 here, check in with your challenge group. I like to do this first thing in the morning, and then I like to check in later on in the day, usually in the afternoon before I go get the kids. I'll check in again, and I just have 2 check-ins. So I try not to spend more than 30 minutes in this area with my clients, checking in with the group, making sure there's all the questions are answered, recognizing someone in that space, replying back to all the comments and questions from anybody who is in there, and then literally moving on. So that's it. We're at 1 o'clock. Thank you guys for jumping on here. If you have any questions, I will post the recording in our team page. You can ask them in the comment section, and good luck with everything. If you guys are finding you're stuck in one area, just reach out, comment and say like, this is not working for me. What is going on? And we will help you to identify the problem. Okay. Thanks for jumping on. See ya.